What's happening, my YouTube friends and family? Hope everyone's doing well. Wanted to cover a quick little topic on dispatchers. And it doesn't matter if it's an in-house dispatcher or a third-party dispatcher. Your dispatcher is the face of your company, even though it's just a voice on the phone. Your dispatcher, in many cases, is 90% of the only real representation or interaction that comes with your client. The person's almost like a salesman. And, you know, a lot of new dispatchers came in when things were booming in the COVID area, because you could name your price back then, and so everyone thought they were a natural. But I want to bring up a little scenario that came up on one of the Facebook groups, and it's telling, and at the same time it's concerning. So there's a guy that posted, he put up a post that, you know, one of his drivers went and picked up, it was a power only load, he went and picked up a trailer, and then he got pulled over and cited because the trailer did not have the reflective tape that's required on both sides and the back, the red and silver. And so the reason for his post is he's trying to, you know, it's advertising. He's telling everyone, hey, look, I fight for my drivers. I got him money. I got him a revised rate con to cover that. And I get it. And that's part of what a dispatcher does, right? If there's a lumper fee, if there's detention, if there's a layover, that's what a dispatcher does. But as carriers, as owner-operators, we need to be careful of what these dispatchers do. This particular person doesn't agree with my opinion, and that's fine. And I get what he did. I mean, it was an inconvenience to his carrier, and he called and negotiated for more. But now let's think about that for a minute. Most trucking companies have like an attorney fee on retainer. It's unfortunately a necessity. Even right here where I work, for like, I don't know, $3 a week or something, we get free legal service. Basically, it's like, you know, you pick up the phone, you dial this 800 number, and you tell them what your legal issue is, where you live, and they refer you to an attorney, and it's covered. One of the drivers had some kind of legal, he had to build a trust, and they did all that for him. I think they charged him the actual filing fee, which was like $145. Who can get a living trust set up for $145? But so the company has a service, and then if we want to participate, the only thing they won't do is represent you to sue the employer. Anyway, so even as trucking businesses, you know, a lot of times we have attorneys on retainer, but we don't always use them. We're tactful. If you have a little bit of a dispute, let's say with a repair shop, they did a repair and the truck failed again, and now they're billing you again, and you think it should have been warranted, you don't always bring the attorney out. Sometimes you just go sit down with the guy and say, hey man, this isn't fair, and you work it out, and you keep a relationship, right? And so in this particular case, so let me play out the scenario again. Driver shows up, picks up a trailer. It's a drop and hook, power only type deal, right? So he picks up the trailer, gets a few miles down the road, and apparently either got pulled over or pulled into the scale, and he got cited because the trailer did not have the conspicuously tape, which is the red and silver tape, and the regulation is, you know, along the sides of the trailer, 50% of the length of the trailer needs to be covered, and along the back, 100% of the width needs to be covered. And so you can accommodate that a variety of different ways. So if your trailer's a 40-foot long trailer, you could put, you know, a 20-foot long strip, and that will suffice. It's 50%. Or you can do a foot yes, a foot no, a foot yes, a foot no. That's how most people do it. And then along the back, you just need to go full width. So this driver apparently didn't inspect the truck, or did inspect the truck and did not understand that was a violation, or, you know, a combination thereof. So the driver gets pulled in and gets cited, And the dispatcher is bragging that he went back to the broker and got money for the trucking company for the extra time and buying the product and yada, yada, yada. My opinion, I would have never called the broker and said, hey, my driver's an idiot. He doesn't know how to inspect a truck, even though it was part of his CDL, it's part of your exam to get your CDL, right? You have to demonstrate you can do a pre-trip inspection. This became the standard as of 1992 when the feds standardized CDL across the country. Prior to that, every state kind of did their own thing. I got in before that. Anyway, you have to demonstrate you can do a pre-trip, and that reflective sheathing is one of the things you inspect on a pre-trip. So, are you really going to call your broker and say, my driver's an idiot, he doesn't know how to inspect a truck, but you're trusting me to pull your trailer, and, I'll agree the trailer should have been in proper working order when the driver showed up. But once you hook to that truck and pull it off the property, whose responsibility is it? Whose CSA score is it going to hit? And so I would have never called that broker and said, my driver's an idiot and I want you to pay me for it. I'd have taken that one in the shorts, done whatever it took, scolded the driver. Hey dude, if there's an issue like that, before you leave, you pick up the phone. We call the broker. There's an issue. This trailer isn't ready. Either get me a truck order not used, or let's get it fixed. Let's do something. You don't come back after the fact, because now you look like an idiot. That's just what it is. You look like you don't know what you're doing. And the dispatcher said, oh no, I worked it out with the broker, we're good. So when we were in the oil field, sometimes we would get contracts with bigger companies, Halliburton, whoever, to move frac tanks. Hey, we're too busy, can you help us on a couple locations? And usually it was 20 to 40 frac tanks. And when I didn't have enough trucks to do it, I would contract out someone else. And so we encountered this quite a bit. And the smart winch truck operator, because that's how you load these things up with the winch truck, would pick up the phone and say, hey man, this thing's got a flat. I can't take it. I'm going to take the other ones and, get it fixed. And on one of the return trips, when it's ready, I'll pull it. Good. Thank you. Smart. You're doing your job. I did have a scenario where a guy took off with a lighting issue and he got taken out of service. And even though I told him everything was fine, he wanted me to pay him by the hour to sit there and wait for it to get fixed. I paid him. I never called him again. And that's what happens. Be careful, guys, when you have someone representing you, whether it's in-house or a third party, stay involved in these phone calls. Even if you're not making the calls, make sure the dispatcher tells you what's going on. I would not have let third party or, an in-house dispatcher call the broker and say, my driver didn't inspect your trailer and now has a problem at the scale. That's just saying we're incompetent. That's bad. My driver should have picked up the phone and said, this trailer's missing conspicuously tape. What do you want me to do? If they'd have been told, pull it anyways, now I'm risking my CSA, my score. But at least at that point, it's their stupid decision, not my driver. Anyways, guys, I'm rambling. Be careful how you're represented. Don't let the idea that a dispatcher can get you more money always take precedence over how people are going to view the professionalism and the skill set that your company and or drivers have. Be professional. Your driver should have inspected that. That should not be rolling down the highway, and the driver should have caught that. Not catching it kind of makes you look bad. Just my personal opinion. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching.